So let's answer the reason why the Necronomicon Spellbook says to only use one sigil at a time and only for one goal. Wonder why I haven't answered this before, or I probably did in the past, but let's flesh it out a little bit.
Necronomicon is coming.
So the Necronomicon Spellbook states that you should only use one sigil at a time and for one goal at a time. You can use the same sigil one again in some different scenario for a different goal, but it must be newly written on a new piece of paper or parchment or what have you for that separate spell work. So let's go into a little bit about why, and any questions, comments, complaints, concerns, issues, debates, put them in the comments and whatnot. But so to me, it really has to do with focus, because if you are thinking too big and too heavy about a situation, then you're going to want to use I'm trying to think if there's a good example for this, but basically if you are trying to solve a particular problem, it is better to go at it with one angle or one weapon, I guess you could say, as opposed to multiple angles. So if you are trying to solve an argument, it's better to only have one spirit help you rather than to use a spirit for wanting to solve an argument, for using a spirit to help get more money. Let's say if the argument is about money, and to use another spirit to help to find a job because you need the money, because you don't want to argue about it anymore. See, it gets a little bit more complicated. It's almost like too many cooks in the kitchen, and you're presenting too many options and too many avenues for the energy to go to solve your issue. It's like having three hoses spraying instead of one hose. You're going to be much more accurate with one. I had a good going there. And in one of my other videos on energy, basically the more focused the energy is and the more simplistic your intention is worded, the easier it is for the energy of your spell work to find its way to its goal. That's why I advocate for when you're doing a sigil or a spell work, when you're phrasing your intention, you only use a simple small one sentence phrase, because it makes your intention very focused, very specific, very simplistic, and that makes your energy like a dart going towards something rather than a giant rock being thrown at something. I think with my new update on this computer or something, it's a bit laggy, so if the video chops, that's why. Also, from my own personal experience, it seems that the 50 names of Marduk do like to be called one at a time, because you are calling on, this is that concept of Brahman that I talked about way back in the day, where you have that ultimate deific, ultimate spiritual force that comes down to us through the visages of multiple different deities, which is why, in my perspective anyhow, I don't know about how many others kind of think this, but my path is as true as yours. Their path is as true as mine. Everybody's, every road leads to the same place. That kind of thing. So basically, when you are invoking that one spirit of Marduk, Marduk comes to you through that vehicle of that one sigil. So it's kind of hard for him to split his attention into 5, 4, 7, maybe just 2 different sigils at a time, because then once again it all leads back to the fact that you're not being too specific, and hey, what are you really asking for? Because if you're asking for this and this, then it doesn't work. I understand that some people might think of it as like a where things can get done more in a committee sense, or go at it from all different angles to attack the issue, and that works more on the physical world than the energetic world. Magic is simple. Keep it simple, stupid, and just make it specific. So rather than using multiple sigils, really study up and read through all the different sigils to find out the intentions and the wordings and the uses behind each of them, so you know which one is the most applicable and most specific to your situation, and pick that one, and then create that one simplistic phrase, and then follow the steps in the Necronomicon Spellbook, which I have a video on if you guys check back. Okay, point 2. Why you can't use the same sigil for more than one goal. When you make that prayer on that one sigil, on that one piece of paper, that's like writing a movie ticket. Well, I just saw the lag on my screen there. It's like writing a movie ticket where it only goes towards one thing. It's a one-way ticket to that energy that you want, to that goal that you want. So you might invoke that same spirit again for something else. Like, for example, somebody who works a commission job, right? They might do a Ziku spell one time when they're having a really hard time making money over draw that month. Okay, so Ziku helps them, and they end up making draw that month. A couple months down the line, they have another difficult time making draw, so it gets near the end of the month, they're panicking, they want to be able to cover their bills, so they take a new parchment, new index card, that's what I use, new piece of paper, whatever, they remake the Ziku sigil on there, and then they redo it, because it's now a new, it might be a similar situation that they want the same thing, it's a new time, it's a new goal, it's a new specific thing, because maybe there's, they're in a new time in their life, they're a different age, it's a different day of the week, there's a different situation at work, maybe there's different people at work. Basically, no two situations are ever the same. Therefore, the sigils, albeit the fact that they invoke the same deities, you're invoking a different kind of prayer. Might be for a similar goal, but a different prayer altogether. So you need a different sigil. So you need a different, a lot of movies are similar if you boil down their plots, but you still need different movie tickets to go to each one. All airplanes might be the same, but you still need a different airplane ticket to get on each different airplane to go to each different place. That makes sense? I think it does. I don't like scripting this stuff because I find that my analogies really come off on the fly pretty good. So I think that's about it for this one. Let me know what you guys think. Questions, comments, complaints, concerns, issues, drop them down below. Check out all of my other videos for Necronomicon mechanics and general magic stuff. And, just keep an eye on this channel because I might be a bit busy. I was finally able to make a video tonight. Thankfully, I'm happy to get back to it. And we'll see what comes next. Good hunting.